Next up, at UFC Vegas 107, we have the main event of the evening. We have the number 4 woman on planet Earth, Erin Blanchfield, taking on the number 5 woman on planet Earth in Maycee Barber. This fight matters very, very much, and people love to complain about the female main events, but the reality is this is essentially a title eliminator. Maycee Barber's on a wild win streak right now. Erin Blanchfield has lost to the title challenger in the last title fight. Outside of that, she has looked quite well. Erin Blanchfield is 13-2 in her career, 4-1 in her last 5, coming off that main event win over former world champion Rose Namajunas, taking on Maycee Barber, 14-2 in her career, 5-0 in her last 5 on a 6-fight win streak. Erin Blanchfield is exactly who we thought she was. There are some holes in the offensive grappling, but what there's not holes in is just general toughness and a willingness to fight. She marches forward, gets in your face, she throws punches, she looks to grapple. Does she have the best takedowns? Absolutely not. Will she continue to try to take you down while taking shots and giving shots? 100%. The comparison can be made that she's like a Mackenzie Dern. She's got better striking than Mackenzie Dern.
Oh.
What? What's the issue with that comparison? Tough as fuck, moves forward, very good grappler. What's the issue with the comparison?
Go ahead, Angela.
I didn't think so. She is like a Mackenzie Dern. She's a better striker than Mackenzie, not as good of a just raw grappler. Mackenzie's grappling is next level. But Erin Blanchfield is a grappler who has no problem getting hit. It will not change her game plan. You cannot break that will. She'll continue to move forward no matter what. She averages around 6 significant strikes landed per minute, 2 takedowns per fight, and she is coming off that win over Rose Namajunas, where she had a pair of takedowns and 9 minutes of control time over a former world champion. She's taking on Maycee Barber. Maycee Barber's a little more well-rounded. She doesn't have a one specific specialty like we saw on the Blanchfield side. Maycee Barber's a solid striker. She's got good boxing. There's wrestling there as well. She's not really a grappler in style, but she's got well-timed takedowns if she needs them. She was able to take down some of the better wrestlers in the division, like Montana De La Rosa, Jessica Eye, Miranda Maverick, Andrea Lee, most recently, Caitlin Chikagi. And her takedown defense is at a mid-level 53%. That could be a problem in this matchup. She's been taken down 12 times in the UFC, including once in her last fight. She's coming off that decision win over Caitlin Chikadian. You may see her as Seminara now listed. She got married. The striking was clean, and so were the takedowns. This is a good fight. I'm looking forward to this fight, and there's some questions in this fight. I do think Erin Blanchfield wins. I do think these odds are appropriate, and I do think the odds obviously could probably be a little bit wider. Because Maycee Barber is good. She's well-rounded. She's athletic. She's a very good striker. But I just think Erin's blind forward pressure is going to be a problem. Because Maycee's going to try to maintain distance in a small cage. Not going to work. Maycee's going to try to stay in the outside. There is no outside when you have Erin Blanchfield just charging forward trying to get you against the cage. And then Maycee's just not going to be as good of a grappler if it ends up on the ground. Maybe Maycee can defend some of the takedowns. She's not going to defend all of them. And then on the ground, you do not get back up. Erin might not submit you, but you're not going to go anywhere. Erin Blanchfield's going to be the pick. I think it's pretty straightforward. We might have a couple competitive early rounds with Maycee bobbing and weaving and sticking and moving. But once Erin just hits that forward pressure, head down, highs, half closed flow state, Erin's going to take over. So Erin is the pick. What do you think, Jacob?
Yeah, I've been I don't know if there's not very many people I've been up and down on more than a girl like Erin Blanchfield, because I made Manon Farrow my lock of the week against Erin Blanchfield, and I watched that fight and came away from that fight with 2 takeaways. Number one, Manon wasn't who I thought she was, and I tried to warn you guys about that with the Shevchenko fight. Nobody fucking listened, but I had Shevchenko bet on Shevchenko. She dominated that fight. And the other takeaway was, holy shit, is Erin like a fucking tough fucking girl. Like, as you said, nothing discourages her. She's not the most talented striker, but she's going to stay in your face. She doesn't have the greatest takedowns, but she's going to stay in your face. She'll get to the clinch. She'll try to work those takedowns. And if she doesn't work the takedowns, she doesn't get discouraged. She's just going to stay and just strike and just wear you down and weigh you down. And going into that Rose fight, I told people, listen. I know that I had Manon Farrow as my lock of the week versus Erin, but I'm telling you right now that over 5 rounds, Erin is going to beat most girls. I don't care what the fuck happens in the first couple rounds of this fight. Erin will eventually get a takedown, and once she gets a takedown, she's going to take over this fight, and that's exactly what happened. I'm pretty sure I was live streaming the whole thing, and the 2 rounds happened, and people were clowning me. I'm like, just wait, guys. I'm telling you, just fucking wait. And then Erin slowly just started working into that fight. And Maycee coming off a little bit of a layoff, health issues, whatever it is, never had.
Wait, sorry. Can you expand on the health issues? Because they were like, I might have to retire bad.
Well, I think she's fine now, so it's not that big a deal. But the biggest thing is she's never had a 5-round fight before, and 5 rounds is a big deal. Erin's been there, done that, and Maycee, what she resorts to as her backup plan. Yeah, she wants to be the striker, the dynamic person. You know, she came in against Amanda Hebos. Amanda Hebos ragdolled her to the ground. Everyone can take down a girl like Maycee. Amanda was taking her down to the ground, was able to eat a head kick and stuff like that, and was able, and eventually got finished. But Erin Blanchfield isn't like as sloppy as Amanda Hebos can get at times. But Maycee wants to default to the wrestling. She wants to default to the clinching. She can't get held against the fence. I think this is honestly a great matchup for Erin Blanchfield. The lack of experience in the 5-round fights, the wanting to be the wrestler in a lot of fights versus wrestlers that Maycee likes to be at times. She likes to try and just bully girls kind of in the wrestling. She's not going to be able to do that against Erin Blanchfield. Even if she gets a takedown against Erin Blanchfield, it's a very dangerous thing to do. You saw Manon do that. Manon picked her up, slammed her down, and was like, holy shit, I'm in this fucking guillotine. I just think the experience for Erin, the tenacity of Erin of moving forward with the boxing, and I think she's going to get more takedowns than she has in her past few fights, because Maycee is probably just going to get worn down. I wouldn't be surprised if Erin's able to find one of those finishes that's kind of eluded her in her last few fights. So as much as I've said that Erin sucks, and I'm not a big Erin person, I completely flipped. I was on her versus Rose. She got it done, and I think she gets it done here. And I just think it's a bad matchup for Maycee. Maycee probably does beat a lot of girls in this division. She's a talented girl. She's a very well-rounded girl, good striker, can wrestle, can grapple. It just feels like in a 5-round fight, this is a bad matchup for her. So Maycee coming back after a year layoff and losing to a girl like Erin Blanchfield, I don't think it's really that big a deal. I don't think it's the end of the world. It's a tough thing to come back to. I think she can still beat most girls in this division, and we could see a rematch of this down the road. They're both young prospects, so they might fight 2 or 3 more times in their careers. But as far as in this moment right now, Erin is much more ready for a 5-round fight at this point in both of their careers. It just is what it is, and I'm taking Erin, and I bet her too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you on basically everything. I do think, I don't know the details, but I thought it was like a blood infection or something crazy. Like that medical issue was bad, and I remember her posting,
it was
I may never fight again.
I think it was one of those like she was sick but didn't know why she was sick, and
that's right. So, in and out of the hospital for like months or something, right?
Yeah, I think it was just a lot of. But I think they figured it out. It was some sort of
like a staph that they couldn't get out of her kind of thing.
No, maybe like a autoimmune disease. I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah. Either way, that is somebody commented autoimmune. I mean, maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe it does. I'm not using it as part of the breakdown because, to basically everything Jacob and I said, the forward pressure, the relentlessness of Erin should be enough to win this fight. But if we do have a Maycee that has dedicated her entire life to this, and we know how serious her father is about this as well, that might not quite be ready to come back, but the opportunity is here. You don't want to pass it up. It's a main event. You know, maybe she is coming back a little too soon. I don't know. But these odds were much tighter the other day. They're continuing to widen. I would not be surprised if Erin Blanchfield found herself in minus 400 territory come fight night. I think people are going to look at this card and they're going to say, this is a sketchy fucking card. Well, Blanchfield should win, and the money's just going to go in on her, and those odds are going to go crazy because the rest of this card is tough. But that is the breakdown. If you want to check out the fights, the picks, the bets, the artificial intelligence, all the tools, everything that we have to offer, you can do so now at WeWantPicks.com. It's only $10 for an entire month's worth of access.